In this session, we explore the sanity of love and how it guides our response to outrageous requests. We will examine why conventional empathy can be misleading and how a clearer, spiritually grounded perspective helps us support others without reinforcing guilt or victimhood. Everyday conflict often starts as an appeal, not an attack. A colleague or partner asks us to take sides, validate their pain, and confirm they were wronged. This is the burden of the appeal. The ego is not satisfied with agreement alone. It seeks validation of its victimhood and separation. A foolish request has two layers. First is the physical ask, the explicit favor or behavior being requested. Beneath it lies the hidden demand, a call to confirm that separation, victimhood, and another's guilt are real. Our task is to separate these layers in our perception before we respond. The empathy trap forms when person A complains about person B and we validate A's grievance. This creates a secret alliance and a shared attack on B. What appears as empathy becomes a covert judgment, making the story of victim and perpetrator feel solid and justified. When we meet one person's needs by jeopardizing another, we are fully inside the ego system. We accept the illusion that someone can be truly harmed and that safety requires another's guilt. The ego's real goal is separation, building isolated islands around shared grievances. Here, we contrast conventional empathy with the sanity of love. Conventional empathy comforts the ego and sees a vulnerable victim, validating grievances as real. True empathy aims to awaken the spirit, sees everyone as whole, and may meet the request in form while quietly denying guilt. The paradigm shift is to recognize what does not truly matter. If a request is outrageous only in form, we may choose to comply precisely because the form is insignificant. The work is not to fight the behavior, but to remove the request's psychological power by refusing the story of guilt. This scale illustrates that form is light, while content carries real weight. The ego battles over actions and outcomes, but the Holy Spirit values only inner content: love, innocence, and shared purpose. Because form is weightless, we can sometimes grant a foolish request without fear. The does it matter matrix maps our options. Fighting the form leads to conflict. Fulfilling it while validating ego content creates the empathy trap. Ignoring the call becomes spiritual bypass. The optimal quadrant is to fulfill the form, yet inwardly affirm the other's eternal innocence. True empathy sees an unbroken circle of atonement. You, the requester, and the supposed offender share one indivisible identity. Any mental attack on one is an attack on all, including yourself. The ego's triangle of alliances collapses when we remember this shared wholeness. Seeking through the ego's dark glass, we demand sacrifice and inevitably find guilt. Seeing with the eyes of Christ, we interpret the same request as a confused call for love. How we answer determines the world we experience. We find exactly what we expect and invite. The holy meeting place arises when we fulfill the outer request without accepting guilt. An outrageous demand becomes an opportunity for healing. We do not need to change another's mind. We simply refuse to let their ego change ours, offering only the steady light of true perception.